Hello, everyone, and welcome to PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. And my name is Gosson, and I am here with my friend Rebecca Whitehall. She is, I call, an energy expert, and she is going to be talking to us today about how to master our power. Welcome to the show, Rebecca.
Oh, thank you, Guy. I'm looking forward to sharing with everybody.
Tell us what the Master Your Power healing session is all about.
Well, master your power is really getting you in tune with your own energy. So that's what's kind of important is that we all are energy. And whether you realize it or not, even though we look like we're all connected, we're actually connected with energy. And once you learn how to work with this energy, then you'll be able to actually take care of yourself. You know, whether it's mentally, physically, or spiritually. So that's what the goal is for us to teach other people how to master their own power and to get that energy flowing properly. Guy, do you realize that if your energy isn't flowing properly, then you probably have aches and pains and maybe even sick, or things in your body don't work properly? So it's a good thing to know about how to get that energy flowing.
Yes, I called you an energy expert when I was introducing you. Will you tell us a little about yourself?
Well, I started on this journey when I went through a chronic illness. I was diagnosed, and I've always been more interested in energy because I found years ago when I had some respiratory problems. And of course, I did what everybody did is we went to a traditional doctor, right? And so he, he kept putting me on medication, right? One pill, another, the inhaler, another pill, another pill. I was on 4 at the time. And then they switched doctors on me. And I ended up having to go to a new doctor. Well, in the meanwhile, I noticed that I wasn't getting any better. So I started more of a natural approach through a chiropractor who was working with my meridians. And, it even included some thought patterns that could switch because of your meridians and the way the energy flowed through the body. So I was doing some work with her and she was giving me supplements. I was beginning to feel so much better. I wasn't as allergic to gas. Can you imagine going for a walk around the block? I ended up with bronchitis every time I walked around the block more than one day. So if I did it like 2 or 3 days, I had bronchitis. I'm telling you, it was horrible, horrible. So I started with her and I was beginning to feel so much better. When I went to this new doctor, right? I'm on this 4 different medications, and he of course wanted a list of all your supplements and medicines. Well, of course, I was only on those 4 medications for my respiratory problems and a whole string of supplements. And he looked at me and said, "Well, I'm going to have to put you on another one. That would be number 5 for my respiratory medications. And you're going to have to choose either them or me." And I thought about that and I thought, wow, I'm getting great results. I'm feeling better every day. And I spent 2 years on this medication and didn't get any results at all. So I never went back. I went alternative medicine the whole way, and I am still doing it today.
For a lot of people, I think, Rebecca, especially in Western society, we are so geared towards taking medication. Our doctors prescribe external things to make us well. For many people out there, they may not have a very good understanding of using your energy as a healing force. How do you get people to understand that when it goes so much against a lot of the conditioning that we all have, particularly in Western society?
That is so true. So true. Well, when you look at it, our body is energy. And each part of our body has a specific vibration. So your lungs have a specific vibration, your heart, your let's say your immune system has a specific vibration, uh, and your nails. So when you look at that, they have the technology today to actually see that and identify the differences. Now, if you have a scan today, they can also tell if you have bacteria in your body. If you have viruses, which is important today, they actually can tell through these energy scans that you have viruses in your body or parasites in your body. So, how important do you think that is? It's all energy. And some of the wisest people, and in our history, Einstein and Edison, they all believed that the next generation of medicine was going to be energy. Now, it's difficult when you're used to taking pills, right? Because it's an easy fix. Yeah, you can go take a pill, an antibiotic, and you start feeling better immediately or at least the next day. Alternative medicine isn't that easy fix. So that's why it's easy for people to give up. It's easy to say, oh, this isn't working. Well, no, it's not going to work. It took your body weeks, months, years to get out of alignment. So it's not going to take one day to fix it. And in fact, that pill you're taking isn't fixing anything. It's masking a problem. So eventually you're going to have to address the problem anyway. That's the thing that people don't realize. And of course, natural medicine gets a bad rap. Huge. But I think it's a choice. We have choices today. We have a choice to say, I'm going to take care of my health. Or you could have a choice to say, let someone else take care of it. But the only caveat is when it doesn't work out the way you want, you have no one else to blame but yourself.
Especially now that you're being armed with knowledge, like Rebecca is sharing. One thing we know about energy, Rebecca, is that it is inexhaustible and it is unlimited. Why is it important that we understand energetic healing?
Well, it is important because it is the next generation of health. When you look at it, you can take like homeopathy, where you can take a vibration. Let's say you have a parasite or you have a bacteria, and you can take the same vibration, kind of like a glass, and you've got that opera singer that can sing at that high pitched tone that will shatter the glass. It's the same with our body. You can take you can take the vibration, let's say, of a virus or a bacteria and add into the body, and there's technology out there that has it, the same vibration, and you can blow it out. And actually, that is quite quick and simple and easy when you look at it. But it's amazing how much better you feel when you do have these bugs and germs, or even, let's say, your heart or liver, there's an imbalance there. These energy tests can actually tell that those are out of balance. It's amazing. But it's another way of looking at health rather than a pill or a drug. It's just a new way of seeing the world, because the world is changing. It's changing every day, and new viruses like the COVID-19, right? They're coming into effect. I mean, is it it is an opportunity for us to go ahead and look at alternative avenues. You might still want to take the traditional avenues. That's up to you, because we all make choices in our life. Or you might want to look and say, you know what? Maybe my immune system knows what it's doing. Maybe my body knows what it's doing. And maybe we can work with it, right? It's a partnership with your body. But what I was told was, when you get those chronic illnesses, it's your cell's way of telling you that something needs to change. So, what in your life needs to change?
Rebecca, you're an expert in your field, and from your expert perspective, what are three big challenges that people face in embracing the concepts that you're sharing about energy?
Well, I find that one of the number one one of the one issues is the fact that people don't know themselves. That's amazing, isn't it? I mean, you would think we know ourselves, don't you? I mean, we spent how many years? 30 years, 40 years, even 50 years. But people don't know themselves. They know nothing about themselves. And your body is always giving you signs and messages. So what it is we are living a life based on, let's say, 10 years and younger. We downloaded information at the age of 10 years and younger, and we're still living in that paradigm. And we haven't moved beyond that. Now, using energy and energy methods and clearing blocks, you can actually remove some of those old patterns, which may be mental, physical, spiritual patterns that you don't need anymore. And you'll find a whole new person there. Can live life, I would say, to its fullest. Isn't that what we want? We want to live our authentic self and our true self. But the best way to do that is get rid of those blocks that are holding our energy from flowing properly through our body.
When you talk about blocks, Rebecca, because we physically can't see what a block is, I think that your explanation of what they represent is important. Because when a person experiences the result of what you're talking about in energy imbalance, they can physically feel the imbalance. But when it comes to something like a block, which we know is stored in a person's subconscious where they can't see it, they have no idea that it exists. What are some tips for an issue like this, for these issues that you're discussing, for people to be able to work themselves through the challenges of the blocks that you talked about?
Oh, yeah. Blocks can be such a challenge, but they're both very crucial because we all have them. Guess what? We all have them. Like I said, we picked up a lot of things when we were age 10 and younger. And we are still living those patterns today, even though we don't need them anymore. So those create an energy block in your body. So have you ever found that you get really emotional or you kind of get triggered and you're thinking, gosh, where did that come from? That's a block that you don't realize is there because it is deep within the subconscious mind. So often we'll find that those blocks will show up in physical pain. And for example, but in your back, your upper mid back, that's your family and your relationships in your family. And it can show up with pain in your back, or money is your lower back. So our body responds to all of it. And they're just signs and messages telling us we need to look at something. Either we need to change the way we see it, change what we're doing day to day, or make some changes in maybe our spiritual, the way we perceive life day to day. It's all about change. And that's the thing, is sometimes it takes us a lot of pain in order for us to decide, well, wait a minute, it's time for me to change. But unfortunately, if we don't listen to our body soon enough, the pain can get pretty bad. So it just messages that your body say, okay, it's time for something new. Time for change.
One of the processes that you talk about using, Rebecca, is an energy evaluation. Could you explain to us what an energy evaluation is?
Yes. But we use what's called an energy tool, and you can actually test your energy fields. That's pretty strange, isn't it? But some of the energy fields are an indicator of whether you're downloading or broadcasting information. And we always need to do that. We're always getting information and we're always sending it. But sometimes that part of our body, our energy field, is blocked. And so the energy test can actually tell us that. Or what about your immune system? There's an energy field that actually will tell you if your immune system is struggling a bit. So how important is that information? Do you think that, okay, my immune system is on the fritz a bit, maybe I need to take more vitamin C? How about some zinc? How about some D3? How about some echinacea? Easy fixes. As long as you know. That's why doing this energy field evaluation is so incredible. I mean, it also shows your emotional fields. Let's say you're having some struggle at home with the family. Guess what? It's going to show in your energy field. And it will show blocks in the energy field, meaning the energy isn't flowing properly. So at least when you know, you can work on shifting it to make sure that you stay healthy. And that's our key, to live a long, healthy, happy life.
Happiness and health, absolutely. Amazing goal. And again, you keep touching on these blocks. What are some of the methods that a person can use with their own energy to eliminate blocks?
Well, there are methods. One method I do use, and I do teach, actually, I've got classes that works with these, that we can actually clear these blocks using the mind. It's amazing technique and method. But what it does is once you clear these blocks, you start seeing a new you show up. For example, I was just clearing my family, and that is what I called is the outer layer of the onion, because they all have different layers, right? The onion has many different layers. Well, the family is usually on the outer layer because that's where you first developed all of this. And so when you start unraveling those, it's amazing things that happen. For me, especially with public speaking, I was petrified. I would sit there and spend weeks just studying for one presentation in Toastmasters. It was like, oh my gosh. And they go, okay, look in the mirror, petrified, petrified. Started using this method and cleared my family. And guess what? Suddenly the fear was gone. I didn't clear the fear. Somehow it was a block related to my family. So then the next, you go into different belief patterns and you can clear those, or different experiences you've had that have created energy blocks in your body. And it could even clear the pain. At least that's what one of the people from my course said. But yeah, I mean, we can do it. We can create a new life here and now just using these energy techniques. It's amazing stuff.
Very interesting. How do you actually implement these block clearing techniques that you were talking about?
Well, what we do is I use the energy tool technique. So I will check all of the energy fields first because I want to see where you are. It's kind of that barometer, right? And I want to see how your thinking, and if it's working correctly, if you're projecting and or broadcasting, or if you're downloading correctly. Then I want to also see if your immune system is strong. Now, for example, since COVID-19, I'm noticing typically the sinuses, the neck, and the chest are off. I'm seeing consistency blocks in those three areas, which didn't exist before the COVID-19. So I can tell if there is some form of block. It doesn't mean you have it, but it could mean that, let's say, there's been a lot of stress about it around the family. It's still going to show up in your energy field, and it's still going to impact your immune system. So that means your immune system's going to be a bit weaker because you're feeling stressed about it. And if it stays that way, you're eventually going to get sick. So this is a perfect way to work with yourself. And then it's a method where during the class, I go ahead and I record some of these clearings so that at home on your own, you can do them on your own. The clear, whatever comes up during the class that you think is important.
Wow. Very powerful, insightful information that you just don't hear very many places what you're sharing. I mean, who could really benefit from having their blocks cleared?
Oh, everybody, your family. How about in the office? You could have everybody. It's amazing. Then suddenly you'll notice focus. It's so much easier to focus when you don't have those blocks. You feel better. That means you're more peaceful, more relaxed. You You have more energy, vitality, your friends. It's unlimited. I think all of us need it. Even kids. I've even worked with kids before. That they do pick up on the adults around them in their environment.
And you also have a book called Master Your Power that you are releasing. Tell us about that. How does that work in conjunction with the principles that you've been talking with us?
Well, Master the Power, it's a delight to be able to write it and share it. And I'm hoping that there are people out there who can really benefit from it. But Master the Power is my own experience of being diagnosed with cancer and the changes I had to make in order to do it naturally. So it really works with diet and detoxing and supplements to take. But a key is it also teaches you how to do the energy field testing. So it really it pulls it all together. It shows our environment and how our environment could be affecting you. It also shows how these bacteria, virus, and parasites. And do you realize that the bacteria and parasites can actually be controlling your moods and how you're thinking, what you're choosing to eat? Amazing stuff. So I was hoping that, you would pick up a copy and really enjoy what it has to offer, because it's really more about health. Don't want to say that it's strictly about having a really severe chronic illness, but it's really about going into optimal health, having energy, vitality, happy and joyful. Because isn't that what life is about?
Yep, happiness and joy, as you mentioned earlier. And you have the book, Master the Power, as well as these techniques that you've been talking about to clear away the blocks that are keeping us from our joy and happiness. What are the overall benefits? What can a person expect to experience as a result of reading the book and implementing these block clearing techniques that you've talked about?
Well, I think that it really gives you a renounced sense of who you are. Because guess what? You're not what you think you are. You are ultimately your love. And so if anything that is not of love based isn't you. And that's the problem. People think it is. I remember being told, said, oh, yeah, but I worry all the time and it's just who I am. It's my personality. It's not your personality. That's the problem. It isn't. Your personality is love and happiness and joy. And those things are blocks. So your body does give you those messages. Now, the book will start helping to relieve some of those blocks, especially diet can create major blocks, not only with the physical body, but how you think. And then you've got the book also goes into exercise and our environment and the way that the toxins in the environment can really start deteriorating a body, in ways you can't imagine. But yet, these block clearing techniques that I teach in 2 classes, there are uh, two sections of it. One is secrets to master. Oh, again, it's secrets to master your thoughts. And then the second one is diving deeper into block clearing. But both of those will really show you who you are and will let you see what blocks need to be cleared. Because that's the problem. And most of us don't realize what exactly needs to be cleared. There are some obvious, but most of them aren't obvious. Most of them are in the subconscious mind, and you have no idea they're there. But they could be blocking you from good relationships. They could be blocking you from great health. They can block you from the way you're thinking. So you have a hard time thinking positive and you tend to think negative all the time. So the benefits are to gain control of how you're thinking and what choices you're making, and identifying what is not you and what you need to get rid of, because you want to have a fabulous life.
Fascinating information, Rebecca, on so many levels. And I'm sure there are many people out there who are going to greatly benefit from getting a better understanding of how they can heal themselves with their own energy. Just outstanding information. How can people get in contact with you if they want more details about your book or the courses that you offer?
Great. My website is RebeccaWhitehall.com, and I have information on my book. My book is actually coming out before December. I'm not before, excuse me, before Christmas. So my book is actually coming out before Christmas. So it'll be out pretty soon. And I am offering my courses now. The first session is beginning again in November. So if you're interested, go ahead and email me at Rebecca at RebeccaWhitehall.com. Wait, no. So you can email me again at RebeccaWhitehall.com. Guy, I don't know. It's getting late here, I guess. I don't remember my email address. I'll have to look here.
Well, where's the website that they can go to? I'm sure they'll be able to find your email address there.
It's called RebeccaWhitehall.com.
There you go.
And I thought, okay, it is getting late here.
Well, again, that was incredibly interesting information that you shared with us today, Rebecca. For those of you out there who are accustomed to traditional forms of healing, I think if we study the history of mankind, that energetic healing has been a part of our DNA for as long as human beings have been on this planet. It's actually only in maybe the last couple of centuries that external forms of healing have become so prominent. And people have been healing themselves for all of time. And it is a known healing technique. And I just appreciate having the opportunity to have you on, Rebecca, to share your fascinating techniques with the world on how we can become powerful and heal ourselves. It's just amazing what we can do with our minds.
That is so true, Guy. And thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
And thank all of you for tuning into PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. Stay tuned for more of our outstanding shows. See you soon.